saturation.
Who are you? I speak to you.
Destiny.
What people are generally calling as destiny is essentially
it looks like
what they end up creating unconsciously.
And families in this book explain the effects of the sensory experience and the content of the incarnate has in their immortal spirit and in their future.
That's what we're seeing in America right now. They are trying to run from their racial and ancestral karma, and there's no running.
Your choice.
Destiny.
And I saw the beach for the first time, and I saw LA. Wow, have I really been living? A destination or something? A compilation of all my life experiences put together, the consequences of drama, and drama's not always mad chaos, the blueprint to my life. I was brought to a certain destination where I am now, where now I have all these life experiences that just feel so heavy. Well, why is that? There are times when you reflect and think things really out, and sometimes shit just doesn't freaking go the way you have it planned in your head. We're so oppressed. Definitely a struggle within myself. I was gonna be this perfect mother that had all the perfect love to give and all the perfect meals to cook. See, destiny is always changing. It's forever evolving and transforming. What I do is live, protect our earth, to protect our children, to protect our women, to protect ourselves, to protect myself, is my duty. I don't know what I'm doing in life or how this blueprint is playing out. I know if I keep living and keep honoring myself, my ancestors that were here for me in our planet, that I will be destined to live the life that was gifted to me, you know?
Did you know if coffee disappeared?
What do you think your destiny is?
My destiny is to be a hacker. Because if I wanted to get something, I could hack it and get it. Like if I wanted 1 million Robux or infinity, I could hack and get that much. Destiny is something that you believe. Destiny is when something happens and it's because of you. Like if you hear a Pokemon, but no one else can, that's destiny. It's my destiny to train its powers, because I have powers too. Because it could happen right now. Infinity times infinity equals infinity and beyond!
That's when you realign with your destiny, when you come back to your center, to that stillness of just being, not doing anything at all. just vibrating, and remembering your intentions. There are some parts too that are out of our control. It's all depending on the alignment of the planets and the stars. That thought alone just trips me out so much. Aztec culture, how they viewed being born into harsh situations, a life of misery, adversity, hardships. They would reflect on the earth as a slippery slope. If you allow yourself and open up to the beautiful things that life has to offer. That's why I appreciate art so much. Art has helped me transmute so much emotion throughout my entire life. So I'm really grateful. There's good and bad to destroying. Everything is a reminder of our progression as humans. Truth prevails, always. I think that when you have honor, you have integrity, and having high integrity, you have high morals. You're aligning with the beauty way, I think, in my opinion, when you're living with honor. Our individual destiny not only affects the collective, but also the cosmos, everything all around. And that's something too to remind others, everyone, that we're important and that we matter and that we're here for a reason. You know, no matter what role we play in life or whether we consider ourselves anything, we're all important and we all matter. On a cosmic level, we're important and that we matter.
Feeling my body is being confused. In conclusion, I used to live with a person. They once described themselves as a flower. It began over some household shit, like, hey, you gonna do the dishes? And it turned into an identity crisis. I couldn't relate to that person whatsoever. I kind of didn't want to relate. Not even just being a stickler about the language and saying a flower in particular, describing yourself as such, but attesting to the meaning behind it, the sensitivity and fragility. It felt childish in that moment, and it also felt privileged. I don't have the privilege to be delicate. I don't understand and can't empathize with that. So damn, am I really just a nigga at heart? Is it just like I can't be sensitive? Emotion or lack thereof, or how we communicate that, and whether or not it translates from our intention. Man, that shit still comes to mind. I don't know shit about destiny, and when I think of it, I think of everywhere I'm not. Did I treat you bad, or did I do Specifically, then I'm C3.
You hear me? It's getting further and further. The haves and the have-nots. That term, you won't even hear that in the next 5 years. What you'll hear is your computer compatible to that? People will be shopping to get the program that's compatible to whatever the hell they're doing. The excuse will not be on the person. It will be on whether that person has the program. Well, let's look on how this person was raised. Let's see the environment. Go back to, was it the environment or was it the person? That'll be eradicated. It's going to be functionality. And functionality separates human emotion. Functionality separates human beings. You don't have iPhone 12? Why are you complaining? You didn't assimilate. Well, you need to get this program. Everyone has a computer. That's just how it is. That's an assumption. We're not talking about the indigenous people who refused. And this is why China wants to take back Tibet. This is why Brazil, China wants to down there, wants to eradicate all the Mayan descendants, holding on to the indigenous. They're refusing this nonsense. People will always supersede. Unfortunately, it'll be at the expense of many people losing their lives before we get to that. It need not be. But unfortunately, we're disillusioned. They don't look at the earth. They just say, well, this is why we go ahead and do what we do. Now we're going to mess up this. Now we're going to mess up this. Cuz, why are you cutting the tree down? Is there something the tree said? The guy gave us everything. We messed it up. Nature is perfect. God created the earth before he created us. He didn't just create us and have us out of some cosmos. He created us to have something to stand on.
Don't talk to me. Who are you talking to? I hated them, actually. I didn't believe in it. I didn't want to get married. In the culture I grew up in, if a woman was dependent on a man financially, that woman had no choice. She wasn't educated, she didn't have a place to live, so I made a conscious effort that I would not want to be in that situation. I would not have to depend on a man for $1, that I would be independent financially. If he felt like treating me any which way, that I could leave and go out on my own. Because each person doesn't see it that way. Some people are in a bad situation and they can't see it. And they stay in that situation. What is there compromise about? In other words, if you just sit back and accept everything the way it is, it's not a healthy thing. First of all, I think you have to decide what do you want, like in a relationship, for instance. If things are not the way you would like it, I think each person should decide what is a good relationship for them. You see certain things and they're red flags, then you have to be aware of them. Then you have to decide for yourself if you want to stay in that relationship or if you want to do something about it. I don't know if you would say two people are destined necessarily to be together.
My spiritual guides, or if I'm reading for somebody else that's like their ancestors or whatever god they pray to, then that entity influences the cards. I feel like I'm a true practitioner. Like, I'm just a kid with some cards. I need a more specific question than what is your destiny, because you're not going to like what you're going to hear with a question like that. Questions have to be specific. If it's too broad, then anything could get answered. I'm doing the flips now. So the Tower card is aspected by the Three of Swords, sorrow, and the Fool. The Three of Swords represents heartbreak, that hole in your chest type of heartbreak. But the Fool represents a new start. The Fool isn't actually foolish. He just seems to be to everybody around him because he's willing to take a leap and go into a new venture. It's something that you're going to have to take a leap on. People are going to think that you're crazy for doing it, but you will end up being successful in the end. Whatever it is, or whomever it is destined. It's divinely guided. Sure, like if a nigga's gonna be poor, like at least make sure he's decent, you know?
Yesterday morning was a fresh, sharp green, holy in the light, bathing all my stains. These things once perspired, rest in purity. God told me I'm a vibe, she said, away in her ocean. This morning, a dusty pink soft dash like new nostalgia blew my nose deep into my hair. Perfume red balls disintegrate my cat purrs. Under sheets, sift through screens, separate cells reintroduced. Books of codfish, fish under scarlet lights, boiling water, nice driving sauce from the window, cold side of the pillow, soft like mushroom mellow. Bitch, I'm yellow, deep in low pot water, smells like slick odd, always jamming. Forgot my sister stud, honey butter with the lemon, misty sour, sweet sock talk through. Yo, juicy, I'm familiar. Everything is beautiful.
My mind just constantly goes to whether or not you have agency, like free will. How important that is to even decide whether or not you have that. How much control did I actually have to get from point A to point B, and how much does it actually matter? It only matters as much as the peace of mind you want to get from that intention. Fate is the oppressor that you fight, and destiny is the encouragement that you are given. Like, you can't be thinking about fate or destiny because you have to be present in your body. When you are completely present, you aren't suffering by your own anxieties of what the future would potentially hold. Like the fucking elections, the way in which we allow ourselves to suffer through getting these numbers super slowly, when the only thing that matters is the end result, right? They're going up, you get that anxiety, you get that stress, oh, you get a little bit of relief, oh, you get that. That's all just a product of speculation.
What's that place between your favorite drinks and death? Do you like to be alone?
Hi there, domo arigato. Excuse me.
How would you take my water?
What are you talking about? What you know I was going to mean was my wife.
I can't just let you walk away. Hey, what's so funny?
Nothing, just your accent.
Yeah, what about it?
Doesn't sound very Japanese. Sounds like a weird jumble of a bunch of different dialects. Where did you learn to speak like this?
Huh?
My mom asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to sing. And I remember my mom looked at me. Oh, honey, that's not realistic because no one's gonna listen to your voice.
These haters on my body, shake them off.
As a kid, I wrote a promise to God. Hey God, put me on a stage to perform in front of thousands of people and to make music for you, and I promise that I will bring people to you. That was my dream. I was very into politics and stats, that sort of shit, whereas art is another way of recording what history is, cultural history. There's this class called Poetic Ethnography. One of the assignments was to write a song. This was the first song I ever wrote because of a class assignment, and I went off on this song. I performed it for my class, and my teacher grabbed me on the shoulders, and she was like, Rebecca, never stop doing this. Never stop doing music. Her telling me never stop doing this is definitely in my head. I can't fucking do this. I'm not going to grad school. It felt so sure, but I was not at peace. You know what I'm gonna do is, I don't know what I'm going to do. You only get enough to see the next step. But I am going to let my feelings out, shit on my ex-boyfriend, and sing the most sexiest, best songs ever. It come from a good place. Like, it was out of a place where I just needed to find some empowerment in myself. When I realigned with God and thought about moments like when I was a kid and I wrote that promise to God, there's nothing my soul wants to do than give praise. Dying, going to heaven, I will be in the choir for eternity. Like, I don't need to do anything else.
all of the people in the food pantry were all grappling with their own spirituality and with their destiny. They were having to rewrite their destiny from nothing. Everything had fallen apart in their lives. Rippling out were these different waves, these different ideas, these different beliefs about destiny, God, and what we were supposed to have, what we were not supposed to have. At the bottom of all of this was worthiness. We all have these personal stories that take us through that are important for the communal evolution. Then destiny goes to everyone destined to do something, and they're on a path and they don't realize. We all have different ideas about when a job is completed. To some people, when we wash dishes, the job is completed when the clean dishes are put in the dish drainer. To others, the dishwashing job is completed when the dishes are dried and put away, and the counters are wiped away, the dishcloths are folded up. And yet to others, the job is done when you load them in the dishwasher and you hit on. You just don't know. It's within your soul when you know that your job is completed.
Is my duty.
And it's because of you.
Truth prevails, always.
Yeah, that shit still comes to mind.
Functionality separates you.
I don't know if you would say to people destined, necessary.
You're not gonna like what you're gonna hear with a question like that.
The peace of mind you want to get from that intention.
You only get enough to see the next step.
Destiny goes to everyone.
Thanks to all listeners and all contributors for this episode of Saturation. In order of appearance, thank you Roxanna Vejar, Mikey, Abigail Lopez, Tsion Habtamu, Thomas Hines, Celia Lewis, Shane Brown, Aaron Alcolumbre, Rebecca Gonzalez, and Therman Greco for interviewing. Special thanks to Abigail Lopez, Cido John, Evan Miyawaki, Kalu, Sage Burak, Rico Dershiko, and Miranda Viscatis for your artistic contributions. Shout out to that one brother, you know who you are, and shout out to that one sister, you definitely know who you are. I love you all. Thank you so much. You can find this episode along with all the other episodes and the full track list under Arianish on all major streaming platforms. Peace.